Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for the shares that you would have done. So today I am here to do a video that I think it's very important to parents that hire cars to transport their children. And I'm doing this video because it's things that I would have seen and things that I would have encountered whereby parents would have come complaining. And then when you get to the root of this story, sometimes the problem doesn't stem at school, it stems in the vehicle that is transporting the child. Now, I know many parents may not have a vehicle, or you may not have anyone that you could ask to transport your child to or from school, and you would hire a vehicle. Now, one of the things that you need to pay attention to is how many persons the vehicle would be transporting. So you may have 2 children and the transport is transporting your 2 children plus 2 other children plus maybe 2 other children somewhere. So that's 6 children. This transport is transporting, and it should actually be transporting 5. Now within that vehicle, or whatever vehicle it is, just for you to know, children are mean. And don't come for me in the comments, but children are mean, and they are innocent with the mean, as in they would tell children hurtful things, or they may be a bully, not aware of the effects that it's going to have on that child mentally. Children may or may not come home and complain to you, the parent, and tell you what they would have encountered. And then when it is that it spirals into something bigger, that's when parents come complaining. And then when you start asking and investigating, you realize this was a problem that was stemming for the past academic year or the past term, but the child never complained until it got into this big issue. Stay with me and understand what I'm saying. My child might have been hitting your child in the car for the past term, or for the past 2 terms, or for the past school year. And in this new term, my child has been hitting your child, and your child decide to beat my child to a frazzle. And I come up and I'm making noise, only to realize is that upon further investigation, my child is wrong, because my child was beating your child for the past year, and your child never complained. Parents, be aware. Another thing I want to mention is persons will transport your children, and they are on it for the money. They don't even care what's happening in the back seat behind. And I'm saying this because there's a car that I bunks up 3 days of the week, let's averagely say. And there are some children in the back of that car going, I don't know what school they are going to, because I'm just behind in the traffic. And I can tell you, level hands, as in fist fight happening in the back of the car. I can see it because I'm the car behind. It's not funny, but it's a level fist fight that these children go through every single morning. Well, the mornings that I see them, and I want to believe that it occurs on the other mornings also. So by the time your child gets to school, your child is already aggravated, because they would have been putting up a fist fight for God alone knows how long with this other child in this car until they get to their destination, whatever school they are going. Be aware of these things. Another thing that I would have seen and encountered is that vehicles are transporting your children, and they come and they buffing up the child and hassling the child. Sometimes the child coming out or not being out there is no fault of the child. Sometimes they may have been held back in class, waiting to collect a book, waiting to get an assignment corrected, waiting to get homework. Parents, be aware of the transport that you choose to transport your child. If you know the transport have to hit 6 different schools, that transport may have an overload, and your child should not be added to that list. Because say for example, I can't call places in Trinidad, so stay with me, Tobago parents. You have the transport is picking up a child in Bonaccord, picking up a child in Bucko, picking up a child in Blackrock, and then picking up a child in Wim. When they decide to come to Bonaccord and the Bonaccord child not ready, they're aggravated and they're angry because The child in Buku is now delayed. The child in Black Rock is now delayed. And the child in Wim is now delayed. Bear in mind that none of these children may be on the drop-off route. They may be going to a different area. Your child is in the mix. The transport is aggravated and angry because they have to wait 5 minutes extra for this child in Bon Accord. Then they may have to go up in Buku and wait 10 minutes again. So the driver getting even more aggravated because they may tell you, when they finish drop these children who may or may not be on the route, they have to go to Scarborough to pick up another child. Pick your transport wisely. Pick a driver that has the patience and not in it for the money. Because they would see fight breaking down in the back of the vehicle and not complain to you and tell you a word. Because if they say something, you would pull your child from them being transported by them. And that's money that they need. But be alert, ask questions, and make a decision from there. Also, ensure that the vehicle is not overloaded and that your child would be seated comfortably. So that's all I wanted to share today, because I believe that it's really important. It's some things that I would have seen firsthand and observed and also encountered firsthand. So remember to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you again for another video in the future. Bye everyone.